Hello, this is Captain Steve Tarrant from Maine Maritime Academy with another unofficial Lapware training video. In this video, I'm going to make some suggestions to you on how you can study for rules of the road. So go to review questions and you can go to rules of the road here. Everyone takes the same rules of the road. There's 1,030 questions, so there's no need to set a filter here for your license, but you're welcome to. But once we get inside there, here's our counter. You can confirm that we're in rules of the road. And we have 1,030 questions. Now, I'm going to recommend to you that you go through all 1,030 of these questions. And there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can go through them randomly just by the order that Lapware will present them for you. So, for instance, this is question 37. This is question 133. This one happens to be on Rule 8. This one happens to be on Rule 23. So it can be kind of random, or you can use the question filters to go through them rule by rule. So if you want to do that, you can go down here to the third, go to question filters, go to the third level down, and then you can choose individual rules, and you can go through the questions in a more sort of organized way, if that's the way you'd like to do it. Okay. Anytime that you are in a question and you are a little bit unclear of what the rule is, you can click this View PDF button here. And whenever you do that, you can then read the rule right there from a digital call regs. So what I think you should really do is take advantage of this feature here, less than 90% questions. So you're asking Lapware to show you any questions where you had a grade of less than 90%. This is pretty powerful because what it means is that as you go through these 1,030 questions, any question you get wrong, all right, it's going to be put into this queue, and you can come back to it. Questions that you answered correctly, well, you can just leave those alone for a bit, and you can concentrate on the ones that you got wrong. So I'm going to just kind of show you a little bit of how that feature might work. So let's see here. All right, so let's say you were looking at this question, and I'm just going to randomly answer some of these questions. You're like, oh, geez, I got that one wrong. Okay. That's unfortunate. It means you don't know that rule, but it's fortunate in the sense that now Lapware knows that you got that question wrong and you can come back to it. So now let's say you get to this question here. Oh, okay. All right. I don't know that one either. All right. Now, let's say you get to this question and you're not sure, but you think it might be this, but you're a little unclear. Here's another thing you could do. All right, you don't want to guess and guess correctly. If you're struggling with this question, okay, you want to get it into the queue. All right, you might be able to guess and get the answer correct, but that means you don't really know. So in this instance, what you want to do is, I'd like to get the right answer, but I want to make sure it gets into that queue of questions I need to study. So this is how I would do it. Go up here and go to training mode. Once you're in training mode, you get the correct answer. It says astern light only. Okay, now I'm going to go back to study mode. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually choose B, C, or D, intentionally answering the question wrong so that it goes into that queue of questions I can come back to. If I answer it correctly now, Lapware's not going to think that I have a problem with this question. So, but I also don't want my brain to associate B, C, or D as the correct answer to this question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the question and I'll read the answer. I'll do that a couple times. And then I'll be looking at this answer, and with my peripheral vision, I'll just drag the mouse down and I'll click C. And as I click C, I'll read the question again. While underway at night, you're approaching a vessel from astern. Which lights would you expect to see? And I would say astern light only, looking at those words, and then I would click this. Now it's going to be queued up into those questions, in that question group of things I need to come back to. Okay, now, great. I go through all 1,030 questions. Okay. What I can do now is I can go down here and I can click retake wrong. And what it'll do is it will, of all the questions I went through, it'll bring me all the ones that I got wrong, and I can retake those and I get the correct answers. But another thing I can do is I can go to this less than 90%. Right? And essentially now, Lapware is going to show me all the questions that I got wrong at some point. And I can go through those again and again. After I go through them, I can reset the answers, and I can, go ahead and look at those again. You can. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to switch from looking at these questions that are less than 90% and go back to all the questions. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click all questions, okay? And now I'm back to the 1030 questions. Now what I want to do is use another feature here, is this go to diagram. For instance, let's say a question referred to diagram 10. I want to see all the questions that are similar to diagram 10. I'll go ahead and put 10 there, and I hit go to. Here's diagram 10, and happens to be this diamond shape. And this is question 796. If I just click this box, I can see the next question that refers to that diagram. It's question 509. There's 797. We're up to 3. Okay, so there's 3 questions for that diagram. So I can go in here and put, let's see what diagram 11 looks like. Oh, okay, that's the 3 balls. Looks like there's only 1 question for that. I can go diagram 12. This is another way of studying. So there's 1. Okay, there's only 1 question for that. All right. I think you get the idea here. Okay. Some diagrams have quite a few questions, but it's another way of focusing in on the types of questions. And if you just look at the diagrams, if you get a hold of one of the books, you can download a PDF of all the illustration books. You can flip through them and you can find a diagram that you're particularly like, scratching your head about. You can enter that number in there, and then you will be able to focus in on it. Okay, good studying.